Do you have a really small trading account? Maybe you're just flat out poor. That's actually the perfect spot to be in, and this situation produces the best traders. Let's talk about how this is the case. Now, before I get into talking about this whole concept, I first just want to give a disclaimer and kind of a fair warning that odds are you're not going to use any of this information. You're not going to do it. If you're out there and you're looking for some sort of process or strategy, or for me to just tell you something that's going to get you rich overnight or within a few days or within a few weeks, that's just not going to happen here. This is terrible for kind of probably my business, since I am in the business of selling courses. But whatever, it is what it is. It's the truth of the matter and really the fact of the matter. So with that disclaimer out of the way, how am I going to define poor? So yeah, I made the comment poor, but poor does have an asterisk by it. So let's talk about this asterisk. So like I said, poor, you have a small account. Maybe you really don't have any money at all. But the first thing that it's assuming is that you are at least goal-oriented. And this will be a theme that comes up throughout this video time and time again. So you have goals, you're very oriented towards that, and you can just pretty much see the big picture. So see big picture. Now, if you're poor and you hate goals, or you think goals are stupid, or you're just not very focused and disciplined towards things, then you're not the type of poor that I'm talking about. You're more of a lazy poor, and sorry, the trading is definitely not for you. Now, the thing with goal-oriented and just seeing the big picture is it's going to help with a couple things. First, it's going to help with patience. And that's going to be a very big driver for this. The other thing it's going to help with is just simply discipline. And a lot of this is going to be needed for what I'm about to talk about. So before I get into kind of literally, I'm going to go by a step-by-step thing, I just want to talk about why having money is actually kind of a bad thing. It's actually it's almost a pitfall, and that sounds very counterintuitive, but this is why that's the case. So poor obviously equals having little money, or having no money. But when you have money, that leads to this: temptation. Nope, that's not how you spell it. There we go. Temptation. Temptation of what? And what's driving this temptation? Well, the G word up here, greed. You are tempted to trade. I have money. I want to get in the markets. I want to get involved. Let's go. I have money. Let's just get started. Wait, all I have to do is sign up for an online brokerage account? I have the money. The only thing that's barring me from the market is signing up for a broker? Awesome. Let's go. Temptation causes many people to fail because they have money, they get tempted, and then they go in the markets, and then they get slaughtered, and then the markets are rigged. All trading is actually just gambling. They develop all these false assumptions and these false mentalities for things just because they never really did anything right. And I understand why. They had money, they want to make money, cough, cough, greed. So let's just get started. Let's hop right in. So having money, temptation. But what do we have? We have little money or no money if you're poor. So what does that do? There is no temptation, because even if you wanted to trade, there's nothing there, or there's very little where it just doesn't make sense because commissions, stuff like that are just going to eat away at all your profits anyways. So this, as it may, is a huge, I can't really emphasize how good, how efficient this is. Efficient in the sense of not having distractions. Greed has nothing to say to you. Greed can't be whispering in your ear, hey, you already got the money. Let's go. Let's get in the market. Greed is saying, I got nothing to say because you have no money. So this is very, very powerful, and why I'm building this premise that poor people are in a great spot because there is no temptation. So you're poor though. So we got to get some things going for you. So the first thing you're going to do is get a job. Yep, I just said the J-O-B. Get a job. Notice I didn't say go put whatever money you have on some penny stock and then just cross your fingers and hope that it explodes. No, that's not how it works. Get a job, or you know what? Maybe even a second job. Go deliver some pizzas. Go become a waitress, waiter. Go become, I don't know, do whatever you want. Go mow some people's lawns. No shame in that. In fact, I would respect you more for just grinding and saying, you know what, I want to be a trader, I want to make this work. So putting my pride aside, putting my ego aside, let's just create some cash flow for myself. So that's going to be the first step right there. You just got to get a job. Second part is this: get in an idea of a training program. Now, before you can say, oh, I see, Clay, you sell courses, you sell training programs. So there's true. But notice I didn't say my training program. Go out there, find somebody, find something that you feel comfortable with, that you say, you know what, for what they're teaching or what they're offering, I think that I feel most comfortable with them. Now, in full disclosure, ideally, of course, I would hope that would be with me and my services and my products that I have to offer. But if it's not, that's cool too. You got to go out and find something that you want to partake in, that you want to help you. Now, of course, at this point in time in your journey, you can't do anything because if it's worth anything, they're going to charge money and you don't have any money, and that's fine. But you want to get an idea of training and you want to figure out, well, what's the price of that? Because that's going to help you set some goals. Now, for simplicity's sake, and just so we can add a little bit more realism to this, I'm just going to assume that, you know what, I like this Clay Trader guy. I see his overall program, his university program is $2,000. So we're just going to use that number. Again, I'm not saying it's got to be my program, but go find something. But for number's sake, we'll use $2,000. So right there, what does that do? That gives you a number that you need to start to work with. So the next step here is budget. Put together a budget, figure out where your expenses are going, figure out what needs to be paid. Just do a budget. And this is going to help you to think, all right, I got to get up to $2,000. So let's say after going through your budget, after figuring out, oh, wow, do I really need to be eating Chinese food every night? Oh, wow, is cable really necessary? I love Game of Thrones, but do I really need HBO? Maybe you're thinking, I will never cut HBO. Well, then you know what? You're probably not the poor that I'm talking about. You're not exactly goal-oriented. You don't want it that bad, and that's fine. That's kind of a good test. Game of Thrones, want to be a trader, Do you want to create some money for yourself? I don't know what the answer is, but if you're thinking, no way, I love Game of Thrones, well then you probably don't want to be a trader as bad as you proclaim you do. So you get your budget underway, and let's say after going through your budget, you're like, you know what? I can set aside $300 per month to save up for the training, which is $2,000. So that's going to create about 6.5 months of you just saving up. So 6.5 months of saving up. Now, during this 6.5 months, this is where 4 is going on. And during this time, hit up the library. And I want you to hit up the library for a couple different types of books. One, trading psychology books. I'm not sure how to spell that, but I said it. Trading psychology books. And the second, biographies. I love biographies. Read about successful people. Read about people that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about traders. It can be about anything. Mark Cuban, he's got a really good book out there. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, I've read his. Very good story. But just read these things. These are going to help you stay motivated and get you inspired. Because, yeah, I'm not going to lie. This period here, it kind of sucks, right? I mean, you want to trade, you don't have any money, and you're saving up. But you're not even saving up to trade. You're actually saving up to learn how to trade. So you're going to need some motivation. You're going to need some inspiration. And these books are great with that. Same with trading psychology books. Now, why am I telling you not to surf around YouTube, surf around the internet looking for a bunch of information on trading? Because you risk introducing bad habits into your trading. And that's not what you want. It's not worth, there's plenty of other stuff you can be doing during the saving up period other than risking bringing bad habits in. Because who knows what, if you're watching some random YouTube video, is this guy, do they even really know what they're talking about? Is this actually good information? This guy, he keeps telling me that just average down, average down, average down. Is that something good or is that a bad habit? You don't know, so just don't even risk bringing in bad habits. Now, after 6.5 months, guess what happens? You're going to have that $2,000. Now, this is what's going to make or break you, because at this point, you have a path. You know what? Can I stick onto my path and actually get training? Or, you know what? Uh-oh. Why is temptation here all of a sudden? Because you have money. And greed bet your bottom dollar, it's going to show up. The voice is going to show up. Hey, look, you've been spending 6.5 months. That's like half a year. Let's go. Just get started. You're good. You've read a bunch of books. You've been inspired. You did watch some YouTube videos. Let's start averaging down. You're good. This is where temptation now shows up because you have money. But if you can fight off the temptation, so temptation, kick it to the curb and choose training, choose what your original plan was. Again, this is why you have to be goal-oriented. So important. That's why I put that asterisk up there. Then you're going to hop into training. And what does this do, though? This puts you back to what? You're poor. You had $2,000, but you just spent it on training, and now you have $0. But what did we just do here? See you later, temptation. I don't have any money. You have nothing to tell me anyways right now, so you had $2,000, and greed has nothing to say anymore because it can't tempt you because you have no money. So what does this force you to do? Well, let's say, I want to start trading with $2,000. So there's your next thing. You already have done the budget, so well, this is going to have to be another 6.5 months while I save up for $2,000. But now what are you going to do during this 6.5 months? You don't need to read books anymore. What are you going to do? You're going to train, study, practice, and guess what? You have 6.5 months to train, study, practice, all the stuff that you've invested into. And if you don't think you're not going to take this training serious, believe me, you will. You've spent 6.5 months or whatever time frame that is saving up for this. So you're going to have a vast, wow, I really appreciate this. You're going to feel pain when you buy it, but pain is good. It's a good motivator to, you know what? I want to get my money's worth because I worked really hard for this, and it's going to make you study. And you're going to take it very serious. That's probably the best way to put it. So 6.5 months, you're doing this, and when that's done, you finally have your $2,000, and you're finally going to be ready to trade. You're going to be very, well versed. You're going to have a good foundation. You're going to have all the things you need to do to get started. Now, am I sitting here proclaiming, and then this 2,000 is going to turn into 2 million within 2 weeks? I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that you're going to be in a very, very good spot to start your trading journey. And I've seen numerous people come through the chat room that have gone through this path and that have, focused and done things the right way, and they are now doing very well. Again, not saying 2,000 to 2 million in 2 weeks, but starting down this path, by no means is this sexy by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, most of you have probably turned this video off by now. You're not even watching because, well, this is stupid. I'm not going to spend basically a year's worth of my time trying to get to the point. But in all actuality, when you think about, if you want to become a lawyer or, really anything, you go to college, even short, associate's degree is still 2 years of your time, right? This is actually still just 1 year's worth of your time. I've never heard of a 1-year college before. And, this 1-year college can produce a lot more money than, even doctors and lawyers if you do it right. So 1 year of college, college versus, 10, 15 years of college for, let's say, a doctor, and the upside for trading is even more than a doctor. I don't know. To me, I think a lot of patience and I think discipline can go a long way, but you got to be able to see that big picture. Now, this all could be shorter or longer. It depends on, how much the course. Now, I've seen some courses out there that are like $10,000. And if that's the one you want, fine, go for it. But just understand, that's probably going to change these numbers around quite a bit. So these numbers were just to add some sort of realism to it, but they're going to fluctuate. But the point here being, and it all boils down to this right here, how can we get the temptation out of the way? Because temptation is that ultimate killer that screws over so many people that do have money. And, being broke or having very little money, greed just can't show up. It can't tell you anything because you don't have any money to start with anyway. So, that's kind of my case. And I think I've made a good argument for it on why being poor, having very little money actually puts you in a great spot to succeed in the long run. But again, you got to be poor, you got to be goal-oriented, and you got to be able to see the big picture, or else you're never going to make it through. When you get to this stage, you're just going to choose trading instead of, following the rest of the plan, and then all this kind of goes to waste. So, if there's any questions or maybe you just flat out disagree with me, I mean, that's fine. Leave those in the comment section below. I'd like to hear what people's thoughts on this are. But this is kind of my whole take on it, on why I have a small account. Any advice for me? Yeah, this is my advice. Keep saving. You know, in fact, today, literally at the recording of this, I had somebody on YouTube comment. Actually, I'll flash it on the screen. Literally today says, hey, I have $500. I want to invest. What is your advice? And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to link that person to this video right here. This is my advice. If you have $500, that's really not enough, especially if you don't have a firm, solid understanding of charts and, you know, trading under your belt. Then $500 is not even close to enough money to start. So for that person, they're going to get a link to this video. And like I said, I literally happened today, so we'll flash it on the screen again right now, and you can, you know, see that. So thanks for watching, and get out there and trade without emotion.